G'day everyone and welcome to episode 538 of Aussie Tech Heads. It's the 15th to the 6th, 2017, and the world has blessed us with excellent news. Tay is back on Spotify. Woo! Yes, excitement plus, I know. But I just wanted to get that out of the way because I don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay, so it is episode 538. How you doing? It's another Thursday recording of the show, and it's brought to you by ATH Web Hosting. .com.au, as you would have heard before the intro. So there you go. Aussie Tech Radio. Get the TuneIn Radio app cross-platform and search up aussietechradio.com and you will find wall-to-wall 24/7 podcasts from Australia and New Zealand. And clock us up on facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads and youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads also. Don't forget the Aussie Mac Zone and the Aussie Tech Security, which I spoke to Roger, and the Aussie Tech Security hasn't faded. It'll be another episode out probably on Tuesday. So hold on to your hats and get involved with that, and other shows that are off in the distance, Obsidian Loft and the Old Fart Geek. So I think we'll get better soon. He's been a bit crook, and it's been holding up the Old Fart Geeks and Obsidian Loft. This week on the show we have the two monsters. We have Jace and Eric. How you going, Eric? How you doing? Cool.
Very well, thank you, Glenn. Good week so far.
Doing his Nixon there. I am not a criminal.
I didn't do anything.
Good stuff. Now, yes, okay.
I did not have sex with that hamster.
But I did with a guinea pig.
Now, you could probably tell, for those watching the video, Jace, what is your backdrop this week?
The NASA Space Probe Pioneer 10.
Oh, well, there we
About
go.
this time of year in 1983, it crossed the orbit of Neptune, becoming the first man-made object to leave the solar system. It was launched on March the 2nd, 1972, towards the red star Aldebaran, which forms the eye of the constellation Taurus. The last contact with that probe was in January 23, 2003, and we ain't heard nothing since.
Now, we were just talking about that before the show, and I think you said it was launched in 1973, somewhere around there.
1972. Yep.
1970.
Now it's lost in space.
Oh,
Did
whatever.
it really get launched? Come
Oh,
on.
look out.
Stanley
Come
Kubrick
on.
did that.
How could it have got launched? The Earth's flat, you idiots. How could it have got launched? I tell you, I cannot believe people carry on with that. I thought, like, one of my mates said it to me. He's a sensible person, you know. He lends money to people, like lots of money, and
he said the world is flat, or they didn't go to the moon.
I think both. Well, obviously both, because there's no moon, because the Earth's flat. I think the moon. Oh, trying to think now what he said the moon was, but he said it's all a hoax.
Does he loan the money to people who are called Nigerian prince? Is that the
Yes,
people?
I think it must be. I think it's called micro lending.
No,
I did a electronics course in Newcastle. Must be 20 years ago, and the teacher there was one of the people involved with receiving the signals from the space mission that went to the moon. And
The
so
parks,
like
the dish.
definitely tell you that it was real. You
Yep.
received the messages. We listened to the whole thing. The problem is, I think, most of the people see a couple of clips of what happened because they're not going to give you like hours and hours of footage of, yep, there it goes, and it's still on its
Yes.
way to the moon and everything good, guys. Yeah, okay. All right. What's happening now? Yep, they're still.
Yeah, I
going.
want all the
They're like,
the footage. I want all.
It only went for like 20 minutes, so therefore it was fake.
yeah. So I think what are you, Eric? Where do you sit on that? Are you a moon landing denier?
He's a good mate of Stanley Kubrick.
The moon denier. Yeah, I have my doubts.
No.
I'm not saying I totally believe one or the other. Let's put it
Right.
that way.
Right. It's up there with the inside job for 9/11.
But I definitely believe that the Earth is not flat. Just to clarify that I'm not some tinfoil redneck.
I don't believe in this gravity thing either. Gravity doesn't exist.
Yeah.
No, E
The
equals
government
MC
conspiracy
squared is
Yeah.
Load
The
of
government
crap.
conspiracy to keep us down.
That's
what
right.
gravity
That's
is.
right.
They're trying to keep us down.
Yeah, I don't know where this comes from. I thought he was like having, I was having a few beers with him and that, and this comes out. This is just after he says, "Oh, what do you think that is up there on my next door neighbour's aerial?" And it was a little box halfway up. It had this little light on it. And at the end of the night, after he told me about this, this bloody,
Oh, he
flat-
thinks people are spying on him
yeah,
or something.
yes, I said they're spying on you.
I
And they've
think-
altered your
Hey,
mind.
Just a question.
Yeah,
Does he smoke a lot of pot?
I don't know.
Because that might explain the paranoia.
The people who think that the government's spying on them, you have to be like, your life isn't that interesting.
Yeah, you're
They
a
got
pretty
plenty of
boring dude.
interest
Yeah.
people to
You
spy
have a
on.
job pushing trolleys around a car park for Woolies. They don't care about you.
No,
You're boring as crap.
that's right. I suppose,
We don't either, by the way.
but
That's right.
I think, look, things are probably going to start turning around a bit. I reckon, like with all this spying on individuals and that, because as you know, like if you see nasty things on Facebook and that, but not real nasty things, terrorism related.
Oh, what about the Australian government getting pulled into court? That was
Yes.
a good one.
Yes.
You know, the American government's like, oh, them courts, they suck, man. They don't do what we say.
Yeah.
And the courts are like, oh, that's not very nice. And the Australian government goes, those courts suck. They don't keep the terrorists out, do they? And they're like, we'll come in here, son, and
Yeah.
you're going to explain to me why you're not going to jail right this second. And they're like, oh, man.
Yeah,
because
'cause I
they
want-
got away with it over there.
Yeah, I'm not like right across that. I'm not sure. I just know that it wasn't a jury. I'm not sure even if that case had been finalised, or is it still in the most processes that have been determined? No, it was at the end of it.
Yeah,
'cause-
they're calling them in because they'd made the
Yeah.
comments through the media.
yeah, and because they said it was a
but-
lenient sentence or something, and that's what
Yeah.
they've got him in trouble. But anyway, I don't know. All I know.
You what? You think we're too lenient? Come here, son. I'll show you a really good sentence.
Yeah,
You want
that's right.
25? That's not very lenient, is it?
But look, as I mentioned just before, Tay, she's back on Spotify. Let me just read you this. This is
Just
so-
does anyone really care?
No, not
Story of the
really.
week.
Not really. But she
And,
pulled.
oh, yeah, just when Katy Perry was releasing a new album, wasn't it?
That's right.
Oh my
yes.
God!
Was that
Let's
the
go. I want to put my Valley Girl accent on.
was that the album that just got screwed up by Eric? Did you just screw the
Oh,
album
yeah.
up?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
No, look. The only look, I looked at this and I thought, oh, this is just a rubbish story. But thinking more into it, back in 2014, that's when she took it off Spotify, right? So she's brought it back now. Saying that it's a thank you to all her fans in honor of her last album where she sold 10 million copies. So, okay, how about this for an idea? So she took off Spotify. She's thrown herself onto Apple Music because she was, famously saying that, you wouldn't expect a free iPhone. Why would you expect free music from me? So that was,
Actually, I do expect a free iPhone.
yes.
I never get one, but I expect one.
Oh,
You
why
know
not?
how many websites I've clicked on that flashing icon that says, congratulations, you won the iPhone 7S. I'm still waiting for the delivery, man.
Yes.
I put in my credit card details and everything.
Yes,
Oh,
it takes
dear.
a while to come. I think I'd put a complaint in. But anyway, look, incidentally, Katy Perry released her album and it's Clash, and they're going, oh, the feud's blown up, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I reckon, how's it? So she sold 10 million copies, right? 10 million albums. So now that money has finished, right? That's finished. She's saturated her fan base, not really making much more money off of that. So then along comes the revenue from Apple Music. And she goes, okay, everyone that plays the song, well, we get a cent for every play or whatever it is. Fair enough. But Apple Music's a piece of shit. So maybe
It is rubbish.
so
It's
she-
absolute rubbish.
yeah, so she's not getting enough money. She's not getting enough plays on Apple Music. So therefore she's forced to go to Spotify to keep the revenue stream coming. What do you
That's
reckon about
where
that theory? Is that a good theory?
Yeah, that's
Probably.
where
Look, it's
everyone's
probably
on
it's probably accurate because she's really desperate for $1.
Yeah, but you know what they're like.
Apple Music doesn't
Yeah.
have a free tier, whereas Spotify does. Apple's
Hmm.
like, oh, we reckon all of the artists deserve every cent they can get. And everyone's like, yeah, but we're not going to give you any money to give to them. So go to
But-
Spotify. People have got monthly subscriptions and some listen
No,
for free.
do you know anyone that subscribes to Apple Music? I don't.
No, I ditched mine because I had the free.
As soon as the trial was over, yeah.
Yes, and they could try and get you too. You have to ring up before the end of the trial, otherwise you just got
You
billed.
actually physically ring up.
What?
Yeah,
You
otherwise,
can't just cancel it online.
oh, I don't know. I don't know.
That's pretty. That's pretty. I don't know. It might be a couple of ACCC laws they're breaking there.
Yeah, look, maybe you can. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I was just on the phone to him about. Oh, I've been on the phone every month to him. It's ridiculous. And I
He
just
had
said,
to reset his password because he forgot again.
yeah,
Please, come on.
I know. What's this little box that hangs out of the wall? Now, yeah. So anyway, so that was I rang him up, sorted it out. But while I was there, I went, now listen, this Apple Music ends in 2 months. I said, just cancel it now because it's crap. So I'd like you just, but just going back to, I want to try and stay on point here. Going back to what Jay said about the Spotify and the free tier. Yes, Spotify does have a free tier. However, the artists still get paid for it, don't they? Or I think because the ads pay for the for the stream. So I'm not sure. That's probably why Apple doesn't do the free tier, because who's going to pay for it?
Spotify plays whether you're a paid member or not. They it's something like 0.001 cent per play or something like that.
Yeah, it's not
Crazy
much.
formulas. You might get $20 a year, even if you're a really good artist that's popular.
But you have a
Yeah.
look at, and look, I reckon this is a total smokescreen from her or the record label. I just think it's just it's a money.
Oh, look, it's
a
good.
money
It's
hit.
good marketing there. Her managers, and she's quite a clever business person, and good luck to her.
Oh yeah, but what I'm just saying is she's limited her audience to Apple, and there's a lot bigger, and there's a lot more Android devices.
Well,
out
now
there.
there is, yeah.
Yeah,
Now
so-
there is,
so she-
definitely.
yeah. All right, let's get off of that.
All right, 9 minutes 50 seconds in, and we're still talking about Taylor Swift. That's good.
And Glenn's just happy he can play it on his Kodi TV.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I know that there's been a few problems with that of late.
What?
Yeah, I know. I tried to set it up on a PC, and I
Yep.
thought, oh yeah, set up on the PC, see what if I can just just muck around, and I couldn't install the add-ons, the Exodus
no.
and all that, because some server was down, and then I started getting deeper and deeper into why, and it was like sounds like all the companies, all the studios, and they're going after poor little Kodi add-ons now.
Oh,
So,
no.
I know. So that's not good, but I'm sure they'll pop back up somewhere. Yeah, we'll be
Yep.
right. We'll be right. Look, let's go into some more serious stuff. And as Jay's pointed out to me before the show, the weekly ransomware update is...
Dun, dun, dun.
says that I have one every week. Well, you wait till after this one, because he's going to do his weekly cryptocurrency story. Now,
Right.
Apple Mac computers targeted by ransomware and spyware. So things are on the up and up for malware and the Mac. So you guys are being warned about new variants of malware that have been created specifically for the Apple. One is a ransomware that encrypts data and demands payment before files are released. Well, we know what all that is. The other is a spyware that watches what users do and scoops up valuable information with a big scooper. The two programs were uncovered by the security firms Fortinet and Alien Vault, which found a portal on the Tor, on the dark web network, that acted as a shop front for both. That's nice, and a shop front. What would you like, sir? I'll have a scoop of spyware and a scoop of ransomware, please. Very good.
Is that a regular or a large?
That was a...
Would you like to upsize that?
yes, to something else. Now, researchers found that they were interested in using the product. So what happened was these two places, the Fortinet and the Alienware, whatever, they subscribed. They went to the shop. They bought a copy of it to see what it was all about, and they said it wasn't the best malware they've ever seen. But the malware creators said, "Where is this story gone?" Those wishing to use either of the programs have been urged to get in touch and provide details of how they wanted the malware to be set up. The malware's creators had said that payments made by ransomware victims would be split between themselves and their customers. So that's not a bad little, way to monetize. Researchers at Fortinet contacted the ransomware writers, pretending that they were interested in using the product, and soon afterwards were sent a sample of the malware. Now, statistics gathered by McAfee suggest that there are about 450,000 malicious programs aimed at Macs.
Is that John McAfee? We were talking about him last week.
Yes. Yeah, he's just off the crazy land. So look out. So Eric, are you running anti-malware, anti-spyware?
No, I actually don't, because unlike some people, I don't go to
Dodgy
sites
website.
that are unbecoming.
Right, but you don't have to. The sites could be linked into at the back end of images. Quite nice.
Oh yeah,
nice
that happens. Yeah,
images.
but I don't look at those sort of images.
No, I'm not talking about those sort of images. They can. You can, they can in their backlinks or whatever. They can link back and reference like a porno site or something, and then the ransomware can come through.
Yeah, well, haven't had a problem yet. Not that I know of. If someone's got a keylogger in, I probably wouldn't know. But
Yeah,
I probably should download a free one. Wouldn't hurt.
yeah, you get that.
I think what's a good download a keylogger. Next email I get you, Glenn, just click on it, will you?
AVG.
Yeah,
AVG is a good one for a good free one for Macs.
yeah.
For Max.
Malware bytes. They got a nice.
Is there a good one for Macs for malware bytes?
Yeah, well, if it's as good as the PC one, like the PC one's the best thing I've ever seen.
Malware bytes for the PC is good. I'm constantly getting stuff that it just scans constantly and it just grabs
it's
things
great.
all the time.
They've put their prices up a bit too of late.
Best
yeah,
Mac
but
antivirus.
You get the 2-year one and it's a bit cheaper.
Bitdefender, ESET, AVG for Mac, Norton Security, Kaspersky,
I'm not touching Norton Security or Kaspersky.
Avira, and Avast. I go for AVG for Mac. It's number 3 on the list on Macworld
Yeah,
page.
I've sort of gone off AVG on my systems and systems that I install because that's too noisy, too many pop-ups and stuff. So
I get a little bit of that, but it's good for tuning your system. I don't mind.
You go into the options and then click on "Do not ever pop up
silent
again."
or something. Yeah. I could have done that, but I just moved over to Avast for some reason.
My bad. I am running Avast. I must have switched.
Yeah. So what was the upshot of that? AVG for Mac and Malware bytes for Mac.
Yeah, there's also Avast for Mac, so if you like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm downloading Malware bytes as we speak.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Malware bytes mostly for malware though. It doesn't cover viruses as well, still, does it? It never used to.
Well, they say that it's the only thing you ever need. So
That's nice.
I don't know, but maybe.
So does Panadol.
Yeah, I don't know, but look, just don't go to those sites and don't click on emails. Just go back to pen and paper.
In fact, don't receive email. Unplug your computer from the internet. Shut it down. Back it away.
That's exactly
Safe
right.
as.
Yep. We'll go back to papyrus tape if you want to record something.
Yes.
Now, what's your big cryptocurrency story, Jace?
Well, the digital currency exchange Coinbase said on Monday it was experiencing an outage due to an increase in traffic and trading volume. One of the world's largest digital currency companies with operations in 32 countries, Coinbase engineers and support teams have been working to keep up with the volume, the exchange said in the statement. The outage occurred just as Bitcoin had a more than 10% drop in price to $2,640 on the platform. Customers voiced on Twitter their displeasure at Coinbase for the outage as it prevented them from taking advantage of the dip in price to buy Bitcoins. Ethereum, which has the second largest market capitalization behind Bitcoin, hit $569 in Australia on Tuesday. Digital coins are very much in vogue now, said Asher Tan, CEO of CoinJar Bitcoin Exchange.
Yeah, so have they founded the author of Bitcoin yet? Remember there's a big hunt on? I don't know why, but
yeah, they thought they did, and then there was a guy who said he was, but I still don't think anyone's very sure about it.
No. So what's this Coinbase thing?
Coinbase is like a website where you can trade.
Right.
And you keep up to date with the currencies. It'll have graphs and things showing you the history and the value of the currency over time.
So like a stock exchange like a stock.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. So, it just blows my mind. This whole thing actually, like, why they can't find its creator and all this sort of stuff. Like, is it just like a worm or something? Like there's someone's created it, put it out there, and it's just gone off by itself.
Everyone's built on it, yeah. And then they're like, "Who started this?" Oh, some guy,
Yeah.
I bought some Ethereum and Litecoin last week, so I'm watching those prices. I've got a little widget that sits on my phone up the top of the screen that tells you what the current values are.
So you bought some with real world money,
Yep.
right? And is that just because you couldn't be stuffed mining?
Now, for the lovely long story, sit back, kids.
Okay.
Let me get my
So-
slippers,
Sit
Grandad.
back.
I've got a VPS that I run the Minecraft server on, right?
That's yes.
So I thought, why not give this Ethereum mining a go? I didn't want to go with Bitcoin because if something's at like $2,500, it's got to get to like $5,000 before you can even double your money. So no point. But Ethereum is going up and down quite, and it's currently at $476. So I bought a half of an Ethereum so far because this month is my Rego Your Car month, which is going to cost $1,000 with CTP, green slips.
Oh,
and
isn't it a
Rego.
pain?
Ah.
Isn't it an actual pain?
Yeah, that's too much.
Why can't we be like Brisbane and Melbourne where you don't have to take your car in to get checked? But anyway, that was only $39 for the pink slip.
Oh,
The
that's
rest is
all right.
the killer. So I got half an Ethereum and one Litecoin. So the Litecoin's currently at $40. So you can buy a few of those. It'll go up and down as well. But Ethereum is $479.99 as of this second.
So
So
Litecoin, that's another one. So
there's like 100 different ones.
so
Pick
if,
the ones that are likely got a future. That's you might want to
Right.
do some research before.
so if you wanted to mine, say Ethereum, mine Litecoin, mine Bitcoin, that means that's 3 different install and setups.
Well, when I was looking at the mining programs, you can actually get an Ethereum miner. I think it's Ether miner, and without too much interruption, you can also mine another one that's called SIA at the same time, and it doesn't take a hit on your Ethereum mining.
Right. So
So sometimes you can do two, but there's I'm reading the forums. There's people who've bought a computer that they've pulled apart so it doesn't have a case and it's just got the motherboard there with 4 graphics cards to do the mining, and they bought 3 or 4 of these things, so they've got 4 graphics cards in this computer, 4 to do all the mining because GPUs are more powerful than CPUs for mining.
so
Then you run the software.
how do you know if your GPU is good enough? Is there
That was my problem. So I decided to do it on the VPS, which is all fine. I could run a script called Go Ethereum, and it can do solitary mining. But the problem with solitary mining is you might get 1 Bitcoin every 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month, if you're really, really lucky for 1 Ethereum.
Well, that's all
So
right.
you want to join a mining pool with other people,
You was talking about
and when the mining happens, only one person who's currently mining will get the Ethereum,
that. Right.
and then everyone resets and you all start again. And if you're lucky, out of the thousands of people, you might be the one who gets the one, but you're probably not. So if you join a pool of like 100 or 500 or 1,000 people, one of those is more likely to get the coin, and then it splits the value of that between everybody who's been mining actively.
Right. Yes.
So every day or every so many hours, everybody gets a bit of an Ethereum, which all mounts up. So eventually everybody's winning.
So you're saying that aggregating with users will get you an Ethereum faster?
Yeah.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to try this. But most of the applications that are made for Linux are created for Debian and Ubuntu. And I'm running CentOS. So I tried for days to try and get any of the pool mining software to work, and I couldn't. So I'm stuck with solitary mining, which means I might get 1 Ethereum every month if I'm really, really, really lucky.
But so so $450 every month?
No, $40 at the moment.
Oh, okay, right. But still.
For an Ethereum?
Yeah, which is not too bad if you got solar electricity and just run it through the day, or if I'm running it on my VPS, which was going to be on the internet doing stuff anyway. So,
but when you say run it through the day, well, your computer's on anyway. Or
Hey, Glenn, you could run it off all the ATH servers.
Well, I don't know.
Put it in the back end of someone. some of all the sites that you host.
No,
You'll be paying off that house in about a week.
I'm more, but I'd be more worried about, say, people on the server doing that, because I'd have to tell them no, because they degrade.
You'd see their bandwidth.
Unless they can compile software on the server and you give them shell access and stuff.
Yeah, if you don't give them shell access, they can't do it.
Yeah,
you just pop on there every now and then and see if someone's running go Ethereum.py or something like that. So anyway, I've got it running on the server, and maybe I'll get a coin if I'm lucky one day. So I thought, okay, well, I'll run it on my desktop computer, because as you were saying, your computer's on all the time, but my work computer is on all the time, and I don't use this desktop during the day. So it's not on all the time, and I wouldn't be using it all the time anyway.
Yeah.
But since I've got solar, it wouldn't matter if I turn it on at like 8 in the morning, and then turn it off at 4 in the afternoon when the sun's gone down. Then all that time I'm getting free electricity, so it wouldn't matter.
But how much, like, this is probably something I've never really looked into, but when you say leave your computer on all day, and how much would that cost? Like, it's not going to be a great deal, is it?
Not a great deal, no.
No,
but if it doesn't matter, it's okay. But, you know, if it's
true.
Because
I've got two computers here that just run 24/7. I don't turn them off.
Yeah, me too.
What size memory on your graphics cards?
Gigabyte.
Well, one hasn't. I don't think one has got a graphic card in it. I think I took it out. That's like me.
The Mac Mini,
the VMware machine, the vSphere server I've got. So it hasn't got a card in it, I don't think. You need a graphics card with a minimum of 3 gigs of RAM. Right.
I don't have that.
Because they've got a thing called DAG, which is a huge chunk of data that has to load onto the graphics card. Currently, it's just at the 2 gig limit. My graphics card is a lovely 2 gig card. I can't mine on this computer because it can't fit the DAG on there, and therefore.
But you don't have to access the graphics card, do you? I know they say it's better.
Well, all of this.
Can't you just use your processor?
You can, but it's like 1/100th of the mining ability
of the graphics card.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be like the latest, greatest, top of the range graphics card that costs you $900. In fact, there's a lot of AMD and NVIDIA cards, the specific ones that are like a sweet spot. They're not too expensive, but they mine really well for the amount of money that you spend on the card. People have got graphs and websites where you can calculate if my graphics card uses this much electricity and time to mine this much Ethereum, and then how much is the Ethereum worth? Is it going to pay itself off, and things like that? So the NVIDIA and AMD cards are actually going out of stock, and people can't even get them on eBay, even though they're like 3 or 4 years old, because everyone's buying 10 or 20 of them to put in their mining rigs.
Bloody hell. Because I suppose...
Yeah, actually, I just looked at my graphics card. This is for the laptop, 2 gig.
Yeah, mine would be 2 gigs.
You can't do Ethereum. I can't do Ethereum on here. I've got it running on the server. As I said, it'll take like 10 to 100 times as long to mine anything. So it's hardly even worth it. But I'm like, well, I'll just leave it running. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the problem. So I was just like, well, I'll go to a Bitcoin exchange website and buy Ethereum. So I bought half of an Ethereum there and one Litecoin, and now I'm just watching.
And what's half Ethereum? What's that, $20? $20?
No, Ethereum is nearly $500 each.
Oh, that's what I thought. And then I thought you said it was 40. I must have got mixed up. All right.
Litecoin is 40.
Oh, okay, right. Yes, right. Okay, cool.
And Ethereum is $479.99.
We might see what about if we can get some specs down pat, and we'll put them out there for those who listen and create a pool out of listeners.
Yeah.
Would that work?
I'd have to buy a new graphics card though, but here's the other kicker that I have to add in.
Okay, the asterisks.
I was going to get a 4 gig graphics card and go stuff it. I'll just do it on there.
Yeah.
The so far they've had a method of mining called proof of work. That means the longer that your computer is online actively mining, the more Ethereum you can earn. They're going to change by the end of this year to a POS system, and what you have to do is bet on the mining system some of your current Ethereum, And depending on how much of your current Ethereum you're willing to bet will depend on how much you can generate. So computer power will be completely irrelevant as of the end of this year for mining.
Right.
So it won't matter if you got a 2 gig card or a 4 gig, or you got 4 graphics cards in 10 different boxes, because they're going to change it over to the POS system, which means that none of the high power mining is going to matter at all. So maybe one of the other ones, I don't know, Litecoin. I haven't looked into the mining of that. So I haven't looked into Golem mining, or Gnosis, or CR.
We'll put you in charge of cryptocurrencies, and when you get something down pat, let us know. And if it's a poolable thing, well, let's put it out there.
We'll give it a go.
Yeah, give it a go. All right. Well, let's move on to something else. Eric, did you have anything you wanted to talk about this week? Or are you just happy to chime in?
I'm happy to chime.
Okay.
If that's acceptable, you gentlemen.
It is very acceptable. Well, you might find this one interesting. Oh, no, you won't, because it's Samsung. But Australian small banks offer Samsung Pay. Now, funnily enough, I didn't even know there was a Samsung Pay. I don't know.
I didn't know there was a small bank.
It's no good to me, though, because my banks don't support it. So.
Which bank are you?
Android Pay, which is on more banks and works with the phone as well.
And yeah. So well, anyway, this Cuscal, which is does a few credit unions, they've struck a deal to allow credit unions and banks to offer Samsung Pay in addition to Apple Pay. So look, I don't know, maybe I was asleep when Samsung Pay came out. 38 financial institutions would offer Samsung Pay, including the Defence Bank, Teachers Mutual Credit Union, Woolworths Employees Credit Union. About 1.7 million cardholders will be able to use Samsung Pay. Samsung Pay is also available through Westpac, Citibank, and American Express. Samsung said it had struck more than 870 bank partnerships worldwide for its pay service, and said there had been more than 240 million transactions processed in the past year and a half. So, yeah, Samsung Pay, Android Pay. Is it Android Wallet or Android Pay?
Android Pay now. Would you like a laugh?
Yeah.
Guess what's just rolled out? LG Pay.
Oh no.
Oh, it's going to
so
catch on fire.
If you've got an LG phone, you can have a different one that's not compatible with a lot of banks. Just stick with the Android one. It works in all the places that the LG Pay and the Samsung Pay and the Android Pay works.
Yes. Yes. Why would you?
Well, that'll be all right. If you're going to buy firewood, you don't need a match. Just put your phone up next to them.
The reason the Samsung Pay is a bit better is because with the Samsung phones, they've got a special system in where it can mimic a card with the black bar on it.
Right.
So there's a technology that can emulate it. So in Australia, everything's got PayWave, so we just go bling and it works with NFC on everything.
Yes.
But in the US, there's some that haven't been upgraded to a PayWave or PayPass type technology, and you can't slide your phone through, obviously, but if it's got a bar and one of the ones that you could put your phone nearby the reader, it will emulate with a signal the code, and it can read it as if it was a card that had a magnetic stripe.
Yeah, okay.
Samsung Pay will do that. Android Pay won't. Whereas in Australia, it doesn't matter either way because we've got NFC and all of the cash register FPOSs.
But where's this? Where's this going to go? Like, is every phone maker going to have their own pay?
Yes, everybody. The problem is Apple's fault, I guess. They started it. They've got everybody's credit card.
Yes.
And they love it.
iTunes means they've got your credit card, and that's very important for any company.
Yes.
Now, Google has got a lot of people's credit card because of Android Pay.
Yes.
And now Samsung's like, well, we would like to have people's credit cards too, because that would be important to us. And LG's like, yeah, we want to get everyone's credit card as well. So they might get a small fraction.
Oh, you just take my house. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Apple and Google own more credit card numbers than anybody except for the banks.
Why can't they just go to Tor and go to that shop and buy some if they like them that much?
Or you can be like the people who are currently ringing up the grannies and say, you owe the ATO $1,000 and you've got to buy iTunes gift cards and then give it to us. And they've got, there's a couple of thousand grannies and grandpas in Australia who've already bought iTunes gift cards and given it to these people who remote into their computer because they've got a virus on it.
You'd have to start thinking, when is this going to stop? Like seriously, so you've got the grannies, right? What would you say a granny these days? I suppose it doesn't matter these days or yesterday, they're all about what, 50, 60, 70, 80?
Yep.
So, okay,
Yep.
say they're 80, right? Granny's 80.
Yeah,
Now,
give it 80.
Yeah, so say okay, 80. Now, computers and scams with computers have been in for, you'd have to say 20 years.
At least.
Say 30 years. So therefore that 80...
But we had computers 30 years ago. Granny didn't have one. She was laughing at all the nerds with their computery things and stuff. And then suddenly the internet exploded and everybody in the world had to have a computer. And then suddenly Granny is 70 and she's like, oh, I have to get one of those things so I can Skype the grandkids. And now I can do my banking online. And hello, yes, you would like $7,000 in gift card because I've got a virus? All right, here we go.
Well,
that was one week, $7,000.
I saw someone today and the computer, stuffed. I said, what happened here? And they go, well, we paid someone to come in online and fix it up. And I went, right. I said, who was it? I said, were they reputable or who was it? They go, oh, we found them on the internet. They said that our computer had problems.
They were from Windows.
Yeah, and I went, right.
The Windows company
and
called
I said,
Windows.
Yeah, and I said, how much did you pay these people? And it's like $350.
Yep.
Like just to stuff everything up. I couldn't believe it. And you can't.
And you don't know what they've installed on there either.
No, well, that's right. Yeah, and because half of it's hidden because they're all services and stuff. You don't know what's going on. But anyway, talking about all that sort of stuff. Malcolm Turnbull, well, the Australian government wants to force companies to break encryption.
Not going to happen.
The Australian government wants to introduce laws that would force technology companies to ensure that their systems are capable of decrypting communications. The plan is a response to the use of encrypted communications used by terrorists and follows in the footsteps of the UK's move to force communications operators to make sure they can hand over encrypted messages to law enforcement. So, same old thing, I suppose, with in America a few months ago, wasn't it, where the government, Obama back then, wanted Apple to hand over or break into an iPhone. But over here, we've
Apple
got...
rightly said... So they got another dodgy company to jailbreak the phone and got the info.
Yeah,
so it didn't.
Like the CIA.
They've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Geez, that was a lucky. Got hacked that one. Oh, what a fluke. I don't think so.
The Attorney General, George Brandis, insisted the government had no intention of forcing technology companies to introduce backdoors into their products. So he said, and quote, a technical capability notice subject to tests of reasonableness and proportionability imposes upon them a greater obligation to work with authorities where a notice is given to them to assist in breaking a communication. Oh, he can go on, can't he? And so then he clarifies that and says, so that's not backdooring. He loves a good backdooring.
Oh, Brandis. So backdoor Brandis, that's what they call him.
Yeah, that's right. But it's unclear how the government expects it. So, I don't know. Like, what do you do? What do you do? They probably... Can there be a key that only the company knows that will unencrypt everything?
They probably already have one.
Well, they probably do.
They want a backdoor to what specifically? Every single piece of communication?
Well, I guess...
Oh, well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope.
They contact Microsoft. He's bigging again.
Yeah, I think that's not me. I think that's Eric.
Eric, yeah. It's about the fourth time.
Sorry, mate. I didn't realise it was coming
They
through.
contact Microsoft. Can you decrypt Skype for us? Then they contact Snapchat. They contact Telegram. They contact Apple for the messages. They contact Google for all of their stuff that's encrypted. And Google has already said no way to the US government, who, remember when the government's like, yeah, here is where we go into the data centers and we just put a pipeline tap on the high-speed data center information. We don't have to ask for access to anyone's computers because we just suck it down the pipe as it's going past. We just capture the packets and then we can read all the unencrypted emails and stuff at like level 3 and places like that host the data centers and the high-speed pipes. So Google went, what? And then they went back home, encrypted all communications between all servers from then on, and then they couldn't suck any of the data out. Yahoo was like, yeah, please take our customers' data. That's great. Yeah. Google's like,
nope. Yeah. Look,
so they have to contact like 50 different companies, get backdoors into all of those, and then why is somebody not just going to create their own app that you can sideload onto Android or put onto Windows and do their own encrypted chat if they're going to be
that's
that
right.
dodgy anyway?
That's right.
So they're going to listen to Glenn Skype, which is going to be boring. They're going to listen to my Skype, and nobody wants to listen to that because it's boring. The only people who they're going to be backdooring are normal citizens.
Yeah.
And people who are the really dodgy ones will create their own encrypted channel, and the government's not going to go, the mob have the mob app they put on their Android
but I think
phone.
they do that. They do that now anyway. Have you watched the film Snowden?
No,
Have you seen Snowden?
No,
go and watch Snowden, and the stuff you're saying now that they want to do, they're already doing it. The NSA are already doing it.
Yeah, well, Julian Assange dumped all their tricks, didn't he? Or a large portion of them.
They're already doing it. They're listening on everybody. Now they're probably listening in now because you've just got to say they've got algorithms that search for keywords when you're talking.
Yeah,
and where it's coming from. Like hotspots, because there are certain hotspots in every country that is bound. It's usually terrorist stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you could say there's certain words. As soon as they pick up an Arabic language, it zooms in on that, and the algorithm just translates what they're doing, and works out where it's coming from. And it could be just at a restaurant, and it's harmless, or it could be in an area that's known hotspot, and it just digs a bit deeper, and just stuff that they can find out on you, and then they work out your location, and they put the satellites
they
over.
do all of that with normal citizens, but what I mean, if you're a good funded place like the Russian mafia, they're going to have here. I'll give you $1 million if you create a special encrypted app.
Yeah,
and don't put a backdoor in it.
Yeah.
And so they do all their communication through there, and the government's like, well, we need a backdoor in that. Who are you going to get?
Well, isn't it? It's just like that old saying, a lock only keeps honest people out.
Yep.
Because,
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It is a slippery slope. You start giving backdoors on that sort of thing, and then what's next? Every time it's phone taps without a warrant.
You start
surveillance without cause.
You start opening those back doors straight away. You're in the.
Backdoor Bishop and backdoor Brandis all over.
You're stepping into some mud straight away.
Yeah,
that's it.
Some nice sticky mud. Jace, what else have you got?
I always have an interesting, fun one. Popping down to the store for milk and bread could look very different in the future.
And ransomware.
If this ambitious startup idea can find success, the collaboration between Swedish company Wheelies Inc. and a Chinese university believes it has a high-tech model for the mini supermarket of the future. And the team rolled out a beta prototype of the futuristic store in Shanghai this week. The small mobile shopfront is an autonomous self-contained store built on wheels, has no staff, and features an artificially intelligent hologram to greet you. It's called Moby Mart, and the company behind it envisions a scenario where customers can locate and interact with the store via mobile app. When you enter, you simply scan the items you want with your phone, and when you leave, it automatically deducts the payments from the app. It's the store that comes to you instead of you coming to the store, the company's website says. The Moby Mart vision even includes drone deliveries to maintain stock levels.
Well, what about, there was a place, I don't know where it was now, I forget where it was, but there was a story last week I was reading, might have even been some guy in Sydney, but he had a store and it was just full of vending machines.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah. Have you seen that, Eric? Is that in Sydney?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yes.
Can't remember where it is, but I've seen it.
So you just walk into the shop because he opens up the cross or somewhere, one of those sort of areas where, you got to look, a lot of stealing and all this. So it's just a whole shop full of vending machines. You can get socks, you can buy your Wheaties, you can buy whatever you want, your milk, whatever. Just pop it in, the coins in and out it comes. Great idea.
Yep.
Not very.
I found a story on the 10 Play website, which is hilarious because it won't exist for that much longer. The 10 Play website since Channel 10's dead.
That's,
wow.
Yeah. But look, someone will buy that out.
The all vending store, shop in privacy. Australia's first store run solely with vending machines. I hadn't heard about that one.
Yeah, that's awesome, isn't it? It's a good idea. It probably doesn't, probably nice and filthy and dirty and doesn't look any good when you're walking.
There's a wide array of products, including perfume, vitamins, mobile phone accessories, medicine, all the drinks you could hope for. And he has plans for coffee, fresh juices, DVDs, you name it. He wants it in.
DVDs?
Yeah. What's that?
Where is he? 1996?
Isn't that a transmitted disease or something? DVD?
Yeah, I think it is.
Something like that. All right. Now, Jace, if you could do another one for us for a sec. I think for some reason, I'm only getting one channel. Just the left channel. There must be a wire that's loose in the back of my PC. I think I know which one it is.
Confused Brits have taken to Google to ask the questions they're too embarrassed to voice following a disastrous election result that mystified almost everyone. Google Trends shows the European single market, abortion, freedom of movement, and LGBT rights are among the most Googled UK political terms result last Friday. Statistics show Brits also want to know, will there be another Brexit referendum? What was the turnout for the Brexit vote? And shockingly, who won the Brexit vote? Hint, the clue is in the name, guys. North Ireland's Democratic Unionist Party, DUP, which won 10 seats and is now in talks with the Conservatives to prop up their minority government, was also a subject of much intrigue. Who are the DUP? What does DUP stand for? What are DUP policies? What do they want? And who are DUP MPs have been trending online?
Jeez, doop. That's right.
Doop.
Microsoft includes more XP patches in its Tuesday patch release or Wednesday outside. I know.
Oh, you know what it is? They're only doing it for one person, Steve Gibson.
Yeah, they might be.
He keeps complaining, oh, come on.
So it's done. So what? XP finished its end of life supposedly in 2008 or something. But anyway, a post. Yeah, in 2014, the update clock was reset because the WannaCry ransomware, also known as wcrypt or WannaCrypt, again forced Microsoft's hand. So 2014, they released some updates. Then just the other week, they released some updates with the WannaCry thing. And now they've done it again. So while the Windows XP patch for the WannaCry malware was positioned as an unusual response to an unusual attack, relying as it did on exploits collected by and subsequently leaked from the US National Security Agency, Microsoft has once again reset the clock on XP, that it just won't die. So they've released.
What was hilarious about that is the WannaCry the worm could get to your computer, but it couldn't execute because the DLL libraries and such it was written with only ran on later versions of Windows. So even though Windows XP computers, the virus got there, it couldn't do anything. It couldn't propagate, couldn't shut down your computer, couldn't pop up a message saying, pay us in Bitcoin or anything because the software wouldn't run on the old XP machine. So I guess they want to patch it. You might as well patch the whole, but it's not because WannaCry, it must be because of future ones they're worried about.
Yeah, or maybe it could transmit from the XP machine.
Well, it couldn't run on there. Once it got to there, they copied the software there, but that was it. It couldn't start.
Okay. Right. So in reviewing the updates for this month, some vulnerabilities were identified that pose elevated risk of cyber attacks by government organisations, those Ruskies, sometimes referred to as nation-state actors or other copycat organisations, explained Microsoft. So that's why they have patched XP. These security updates are being made available to all customers, including those using older versions of Windows.
Or unregistered ones.
I guess so, because they're security updates.
I have no idea.
No, well, that's right. You could have a pirated copy of XP and supposedly for the rest of them, and you'll still get security updates. You won't get important.
I just don't understand why people want to, especially if you've got a new system. I can understand if you've got an old system, the latest software is not going to run on it really well. It'll be slow and sluggish. But if you've got a new system and you purposely put Windows XP on it, not mentioning any names, Steve Gibson. I just don't understand it. It would run really fast. Could you imagine how fast it would run? Because it takes up no resources compared to what we're using now. It'd be lightning fast, but the user interface and the graphics, it's really, it's a bit janked up.
Yeah. Like XP was.
It looks janky.
Yes, yeah. I still don't like XP. It's just...
At least run Ubuntu or something. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I used to have Red Hat on one of my systems. God, that was a good system.
Yeah.
I love that. I might put that on VMware. I might play around with that again, actually.
You got to pay for Red Hat, don't you?
Yeah, I did pay for it.
Yeah,
I did
right.
pay for it.
CentOS is free and it's from the Red Hat line.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Fedora, I think, is the free version, and CentOS is based off
Yeah,
Fedora.
Fedora, I've had that one as well. And I think they're a little bit easier to set up now.
Yeah,
Back in the old days, this is what, probably 2003, quite a bit to install.
Try installing Slackware in the 90s. That was fun.
Oh, it's hopeless. But yeah, I did a Fedora, I did Red Hat. Red Hat was the hardest. And that still came on the DVDs or discs or something. You had to keep swapping them out. Yeah, a bit of a headache.
Well,
But I
they've
tell you
even
what,
got
when it was up and
Ethos.
running, it was really nice.
They've even got Ethos now, which is a Linux variant that's specifically tailored for mining Ethereum.
Oh.
So you could put that on. You could put
I
that
could put that on a
onto-
virtual machine.
Yeah, or put it onto bootable USB and boot up your computer in Ethos just when you
Oh,
want to do
beautiful.
mining.
Ah, good
Shut
one.
it
I've
down and go back
got
to
plenty
your
of
Windows.
USBs here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'll do that.
You can get Linux to boot up off a CD as well, can't you? Or is that sort of
Yeah.
gone now?
Live-
Still-
I
live-
think it's a
live
bit
CD.
easier to boot it up of a USB. I think it's faster.
Could be. All right. Well, you could go while you're doing that, and you want to buy some stuff down at the shop, like we've all wanted to do tonight. You could
Nice segue.
wear your vintage Apple sneakers. So a relic from the 1990s. Apple computer sneakers are so rare that they've almost reached mythical status. Now, I think I might have a picture of them here somewhere. Let me have a look.
They're not pumped up kicks.
No, but I've got a picture of.
Where's your little pump?
Oh my God!
Where's-
Did Mark Apple actually make those, or did
Your
they
Adam-
license
they would've-
someone else to make
They
them?
would have commissioned it.
Yeah, photos of the shoes pop up every now and then, but getting a pair in your hands is almost next to impossible. But apparently, well, not apparently, it did go to eBay earlier on this month, where there was a live auction. So according to the pre-listing, the shoes were produced exclusively for Apple employees, and Adidas is curiously listed as the manufacturer. So the
Probably
size
right.
of these shoes, if you have a foot that is 9.5, get ready, you are able to bid. Not your typical auction. The shoes will be sold in a live format, which I've never heard of on eBay. But anyway, bidding will start at $15,000. The seller estimates $24,000 to $36,000.
That's US dollars, by the way.
Yes, bidding began on June 11 at 2 p.m. US time, and I looked them up to see how well they did, and I don't think they sold. Here it is.
Oh,
if
what a shame!
If you do win it, does the person who's sending it to you spray it with Glen 20 before they send it, or do you do that when you receive it? Is that an extra cost?
No, that's
I wonder if it's
you do that
It's
yourself.
still got the original box.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm looking at the eBay thing here now. For those on the video, it's so live auction. Obviously, it's just real time, just like an auction. So
Yeah,
it ended
I think-
it ended on June the 11th at 6:03 a.m. That must be because it's overseas time. Item location was Dallas, Texas, but the starting bid was 15,000 with 0 bids. So
Yeah, because
obviously,
this guy's getting greedy.
yeah. So someone wanted to sell.
Well, in another sale, a well-worn and taped together pair of Steve Jobs Birkenstocks went for $2,750.
There you go.
Yeah, but that's got the jobs as
Maybe whoever bought that should give it to Tim Cook so something rubs off on him.
Yeah. What do they sell? What was that? Shoes?
Birkenstocks.
Birkenstocks.
What the hell's that?
Oh, hippie shoes, aren't they, Jason?
Yeah.
Hippie
Oh.
shoes.
All of Steve Jobs stuff was hippie, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
How do you know what Birkenstocks are, Eric?
Well, I'm a man of the world.
He's the hippie.
I
He's a
never heard
closet
of-
hippie. You didn't know that. We weren't going to mention it on the show, but now you've gone and forced it.
Yeah, I'm a pot smoking, hash growing,
Tree hugging.
tree hugging,
Lycra,
closet. Sorry, Labour voting.
lycra wearing.
What's wrong with the Greens? Come on, you got to go.
Oh,
for
sorry, Greens voting. I love diversity. Give me
Yeah.
a break.
Now, what were they? Birkenstocks. Yeah,
Hmm.
right. Oh well, yeah, but that had because
They look like sandals.
it had Jobs' sweat in them, and that's probably what
Yeah.
made them worth 7,000 or whatever you said it was.
Well, I'll
worth.
tell you what, you get more out of those Birkenstocks than you do out of Tim Cook, so might as well.
There you go.
But look, these just looking at the other chances or other things that this seller has. They've got a few. They like selling shoes by the look of it, and vintage stuff. So that the person on eBay is Heritage Live Auctions. Just think that's the seller's name if you're interested in old
Sounds like
shoes.
he's got a foot fetish.
He might have, if you're interested. All right, Jace, what else is there? Anything?
Yeah, Google has officially launched the Flights service in Australia that lists available flights between global destinations. Users can search for queries such as flights to Hobart or access the service directly via google.com.au/flights, delivering cache but current results at snappy speeds. Details offered in results include the price, airline, duration, and stopovers, similar to existing web services such as Skyscanner and Kayak. Notification bar offers tips such as cheaper deals on nearby days or alternate airport options. If you already use either
love it.
email or Google Photos, the company probably already knows about your holidays through reservation confirmation emails or geotagged image locations anyway.
So that's pretty good.
Good job.
So there you go.
So you're going to get onto
like
that,
it.
Eric?
I'm on it now.
Yeah, right.
Just see what's going on.
There you
Pretty
go.
good.
Yeah, that's something for the frequent flyer, which I am not. Now, my last story for this week is, how would you like to
See,
know?
if I fly to the Gold Coast,
Oh, we're still back here, are we? Okay.
I'll come up and see you in the Gold Coast.
Yes.
Oh, there's none going from my location.
Well, I'm not going Tiger Air.
Right.
That I'll tell you right
Yeah, I
now.
don't do. I'm not. I don't do them. I'm not doing that.
Here we go. I can go from Newcastle up to the Gold Coast. $633 round trip with Virgin. Or Qantas, $904.
Why is it so cheap?
There we go.
Cool. That's good.
One stop in Melbourne. So I have to fly from Newcastle to Melbourne to the Gold Coast.
For
It's
what?
cheaper on here than it is on Qantas. I actually did this same thing today.
So what did you? Where?
I was just doing a Sydney Cairns
Yeah.
in January, my usual
Geez, be hot up there.
trip. Very hot.
Do you go outside when you go
Oh,
to
shit,
places?
Yeah,
That's
I'm in the
hot.
pool.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, well, let's go to.
I'm in the 6-hectare pool. I did this trip today, and it came in at $2,100 for 5 people. So it's $420, and this one's coming in at $356 for the same flight.
Cool. There you go.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
I've got a Gold Coast to Sydney, 110 round trip.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I can go Jetstar round trip, $160.
And that's July 1st. That's pretty good. Oh, but as you start pushing it out, yeah, round trip, 140.
Does
Is
that
that
include taxes?
probably wouldn't. No. So round
So
trip.
wouldn't carry
I think
on
it does.
expecting
Let's
luggage.
see. I clicked on buy now, see what it comes up to, because the 420 was all inclusive,
Yeah, book.
booking fees, whatever. So we'll see what
Oh,
happens.
book with Jetstar, book with Expedia.
No, I'm not booking with Jetstar. Fuck at that.
Yeah, so it's 110 round.
Virgin or Qantas?
Holy crap!
Well, why are these so cheap?
150 one
They
way.
can find the good deals for you.
All right, good. Well, anyway, so that site was google.com.au/flights.
I wonder if they have some people had found out if you're booking flights in the US, if you book it from a Mac, they'll first show you flights that
expensive
are
ones.
like an extra $200 just because you're using a Mac computer. So you must be an affluent person with lots of monies. But
Yeah.
if you went with Windows on the same website, look for the same stuff, it'll be $200 cheaper for the same flight.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there it is, 356. Got it.
I was just looking from Gold Coast to LA. We got because we're going over there. We've been looking at flights around 1,600. We got here round trip 1,400. I suppose it's all
You go to mate. Just a little. When are you
about the
going?
dates.
Which month?
Later this year.
Because I know Virgin Australia have got them on sale at the moment for 1,100.
Oh, okay, right.
And the Virgin Australia flights, the international ones, are actually quite good,
Yeah.
especially the ones to LA. I've done that haul with Virgin, and it's pretty good.
Well,
For
that's
all the
good.
leather seats and the TV on the back of the seat.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
quite
yeah.
interesting. So for $1,300, you can go to where, Glenn?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
LA.
So I just did a search going from Newcastle to Gladstone is $1,300 round trip.
Yeah,
Newcastle, which
Gladstone, you're
Newcastle?
going
But you're on a Mac though, aren't you?
Which Newcastle?
Windows 10 Australia.
Oh, Newcastle, Australia. Did they fly international? Oh, to Gladstone, Queensland.
Gladstone, yeah.
$1,300 bucks.
It is for him to go to LA.
Holy crap!
I'll go and buy some Adobe Photoshop while I'm over there. Now, this let's get back on track with this new technology can help predict if you're going to die. The new research has indicated that future predicting computers could be coming to hospitals near you. Researchers are hoping that the technology could be used to predict serious illnesses such as heart attacks. So I think.
How about stupidity?
No, it doesn't do that. For the study, 5-year-old medical images of 48 patients' chests were analysed by artificial intelligence. From these images alone, the system was able to predict with 69% accuracy, well, it's not too bad, whether or not the patient would die within 5 years. It was also able to predict medical outcomes by analysing large volumes of data and discovering subtle patterns. This new exam by AI has proven to be more effective than a physical exam from a doctor. There you go. So that's all. I guess that's good. Like if they can bring up the history and look at the photos of, I suppose, a heart that is going to fail in 5 years and what it looked like 5 years before, and then get a lot of that sort of data. Then obviously, you can draw a line from A to B, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Got a ruler.
Only if you you couldn't use a protractor.
No. That's ridiculous. That'll give you an arc.
That's going the long way. I think that's about it. I think this show might have died.
Yep.
No,
No.
59 minutes.
Hey,
Quality journalism.
yes. We got too much. We got caught up in our flights, on all our
Hey, it's
holidays.
Sorry, audience.
It's
listeners.
what our voters want, right? Our audience voted us number one, so
Exactly.
what they want to hear.
That's right. Exactly.
You get what you get, and you don't get upset.
That's right.
You get your money's worth anyway.
Yeah, that's right. I think Apple's redoing their podcast app, aren't they? The rumours are you'll be able to charge for things.
You'll be able to get stats too.
Oh, don't tell me. No, stop it.
Oh,
No.
well, gee, wow! Finally,
Yeah, that's all right.
only been 10 years in the making.
Is that
That'll only be through the iTunes store now. People download your show through Android.
so? What happens? They
iTunes, the apps, iTunes store can only give you
the iTunes stats.
and-
Yeah.
So if someone downloads it through Android or the desktop computer or Linux or whatever then you're not getting any of those stats. So
No.
I mean, you get some stats, but you want to have all the stats of your show.
You want to
half or a third isn't much use to you, is it?
No. Luckily, I get all of them.
How popular is your show? Well, iPhone users like it a lot.
Mm.
Don't know about Windows or Linux, but iPhone.
There's heaps. So, is that all coming out with iOS 11? Is it? Is this when that's due?
They're going to update the iTunes store, yeah.
Yeah, right. That's going to happen pretty soon, I think, isn't it? Is that Eric? Are you still on developers?
September, I think.
Yeah, are you still doing developers downloads of all these things?
No,
You
no.
canned it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can join the public beta for the Mac software
All right. Yeah.
if you want to do that. Because they've got the new one coming out. What was it called? Mac High Sierra or something.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, High Sierra.
And that's a free public beta. You just join.
Didn't they have funny jokes about that name?
Yeah, they did, I think, because they're all high.
Well, I asked them if they wanted to really go with the name High Sierra, but they told me that name was baked.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. On that note, let's get out of here before it gets worse.
One other quick one.
Okay.
You watch the presentation. You see the samples they're doing for the new Photos and Files app.
Right. I hadn't seen.
No,
They've got a new Files app, so you can drag with one finger, say, photos to put into a folder, and with your other finger, you can pick other photos and drag it to that same group on that other finger.
Oh,
So you can have multiple. You don't have to select a whole lot. You can drag, and the examples they're giving, like these are the photos of our anti-drone system we're installing at our new campus to shoot down all those drones that are flying over and taking high quality photos of the Apple campus right now. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, they might have a sense of humor there somewhere, but but it's not very many places. All right, let's get out of here. Okay, so thanks for downloading. Thanks for listening. It's another show done. Mid-June. I know it's starting to get a bit cool. I've got jumpers on and everything. What's happening? Okay, you can get us on the Facebook and YouTube, as I've said. Twitter is at Aussie Tech Heads. Email us, Glenn or Warlock or Eric with a K at aussietechheads.com.au. All right, good stuff. That's it. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for your commentary.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
No problem.
We'd be lost without him.
And thanks, Jace, with your, who was it, Pioneer spacecraft in the background?
Yep, Pioneer 10.
That's
No worries.
Cool, good stuff.
Speculation that we still don't know whether they actually went. So
That's right.
we'll just leave that with you.
You ponder about it. Get back to us next
It could have
week.
been. It could have been rendered on an XT. We don't know. We're not.
That's right. You put your tin foil hat on and get back to me.
Oh, I don't think XTs could render anything, could they? Except
No.
dodgy text. Okay. All right, till next week.
It was done in ASCII characters.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Minecraft.
Oh, okay. Until next week, it's getting worse. Until next week, it's bye from us. Have a good week. See you then. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.